Listen up.
It's the number one voice of the tri-state. I'm number one. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, and this is Cooking Up 215, where we get you up close and personal with your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, shakers, and move makers. And today we have a special guest, some friends in the podcast industry. We have Love and Then What podcast in the house.
How y'all doing? How you doing? Thank you for having us.
Right, well, we got Justin, and we have Maura. There we go. Did I pronounce it right? Mm-hmm. All right, because I want to make sure I get it right.
You did good.
Sometimes people are just bad with names, you know.
I just let people rock too sometimes because I'm like, they're doing their best.
They
fine.
try. As long as you try to get her name right, because she's very forgettable. I mean, everything about her, you don't want to ever see it again. And when it comes up, you're like, oh my gosh, she's on my page again talking about stars and planets and how they align to make me feel horny or whatever it is you talk about.
No, you talk about horny. I talk about...
Y'all definitely talk about a lot of horny stuff.
Are you talking about shaving your butthole in the episode?
Oh, we definitely got into it.
Yeah, then the buttholes, all kinds of... It always ends up there. I don't know why. Mara always wants to bring up buttholes. I'm like, why can't we just talk about something else for once, you know? Like, the political system.
He throws it all on you.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
Like, I want to talk about the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, you know, these things that are affecting us in our day-to-day life. And Mara goes, what about your butthole? How hairy is it? And then here we are.
So, Love and Then What? Let's talk about it.
Hell.
How did you guys even, start this podcast?
So it originally started with me. I went through a divorce. I didn't know what to do with my time besides drink and cry. So I was like, why don't I drink and cry on camera?
So everybody can see it, right?
So everybody could see my misfortunes, and podcasts really helped me going through the divorce to hear people talk about something besides divorce.
Oh, that's dope.
So it's kind of like, and then music as well always helps everything, but podcast was a big thing. And then I liked the comedy side of it, so I kind of edged my way that way. And then Mara came on as a guest probably a year and a half into it. Mm-hmm. And then, Mara, what did you talk about that made a lasting impression?
Okay, so I have a company. It's called Fairy Garden Mindset.
Yeah, I'm
and
talking
he
about
had
that.
me come on to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And then he'll ask you, as you know, he'll do the plead the fifth.
Yeah.
And one of the questions was, where was the most public place you've masturbated?
Oh.
Mine was the tanning bed, and he clipped it, and it went viral.
Wow.
Shocker.
The tanning bed?
Which is actually private, if you think about it.
I guess.
Nothing's private on the internet.
Well, no.
Your kids one day will hear about how...
And I will say, if you are in public but privately, and you need to use your time, you can do that.
So explain how did that work, like in a tanning bed, like, you know, with the goggles on and just you were just feeling good, feeling beautiful, just
I just crushed a workout.
Yeah.
I'm in the room by myself. It's warm in there. I'm laying down. I'm naked. So that was just one of the places that I've done that.
It just worked out for you.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to jerk off in a sauna. So have you ever done the sauna?
No.
It's too public. I need like a private sauna to jerk off.
Yeah, because
and then when it hits,
it's gonna be other grown ass men in there in the sauna. But so, do females need like footage, videos? Like, do you need porn in order to get you there? Or this is just like.
And like that was the other thing.
Just
like
self-love. Just full self-love.
Exactly.
That's all Mara is.
Like I think I don't know. I wasn't like I went to completion, but like that's like where I've probably the most public place I've touched on myself. Whatever, you know.
Okay.
Sometimes
that's new.
I don't know. I don't need visual all the time, but I'm also weird. I like get weird about porn sometimes, so I'll just like make my own porn and then like use my own porn.
Your own porn? Oh
Yes.
man.
She likes to jerk off to herself.
I was about to say, she loves herself.
So much. Like, it's crazy how much. She's so annoying. So it's like, how could anybody love her? But again, some people do.
Self-love.
Yeah.
Self-love.
And if nobody else is
you to.
if nobody else will love her, she will love herself.
She will
hard
love
as
herself.
fuck.
Yeah. That's a whole new level for me. That's like, boy.
It wasn't always like this though either. Like I had to like learn that. Like I'm like,
to
okay,
be able to like,
yeah, like to just like, well, just to like
love
yourself. Yeah, and some days I struggle, but I try to just do my best because it's like you just have yourself.
Right. So we go, you know, on Cooking Up, the first half, we dive into your past. Justin was kind of hard. Like, I don't know, Justin, you just hide. Boy, you like live in a cave and you stay away from the world. So I couldn't really get too much, so it'll be like just, you know, some questions to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
But more, I know that you actually had like suicidal issues like back in the day? Like you. So what did that stem from? Like what were you going through at that time?
It's funny because literally in the past couple weeks, I'm like realizing that I haven't like dealt with all of the things from that time. But I was just, my parents were getting divorced, and I was like, not nosy, but kind of nosy as a kid. Like I'm just like, my whole life I've like known things without knowing things, if that makes sense. But then I'll find it like
just from minding everybody else's business, like just putting
like
your nose
I don't
everywhere?
know, like I just so like when I was younger, I was like 12 and I told my mom to divorce my dad because like he just wasn't it. But like I was 12, like
You
what
just knew
what
that.
do I
Just
know?
at 12, like
Yeah, but like she was just like not happy, like he just wasn't around the way that like I
felt like he should be around.
So I was just like, he's got to go. And my mom is like very much like, old school, and like she really wanted like that family unit, and so like she was like doing everything that she could to like make that work, but like it wasn't gonna work, and it had nothing to do with like her in that way. It was like he was the for that.
The puzzle wasn't fitting.
It just was not gonna happen, and so I told my mom to divorce my dad, and then she did, but like they were like separated for a little while, for a long, like their separation period was like 8 years. So in the 8 years, like my dad, he's a very like charismatic, like he's like a ladies' man kind of. But that doesn't work if you're like trying to be a husband per se at the same time. So while they were like separated, he was like very much single outwardly, but like to her, it was like he was going to therapy and doing all the things. But I was like spending time at his house, spending time at her house. So like I was seeing things that I'm like,
shouldn't be seeing
you're not doing what you're telling her you're doing. So it was like a lot of like gaslighting when I was younger, like where I would be like, whose purse is this? And they'd be like, that's not a purse. And I'd be like, what? Yes, it is. And they'd be like, no, like you're making it up. So it was like a lot of that. I think that played a role into the suicide ideologies and stuff. Just like feeling like I would feel like crazy. Like I would be like, I know what I'm seeing. And you're telling me I'm not seeing it. It would be like, oh, the sky's blue. And he'd be like, it's red. And I'd be like, what?
He still was treating you like a child, like trying to get
and
over
like I
it.
was very smart.
But you get in
and
it,
I would be like, I'd have receipts. I'd be like, and he'd be like, nope, you're not holding that. And I'd be like, it's in my hand. He'd be like, I don't see it.
Deny. He was just going for it.
Dude, he was wild.
And this is why Mara hates men.
I don't hate men. I love men. I tell you that all the time.
Yeah, but you don't. Like
no, I do.
But you don't though.
I love men. I think that women can't exist without men, and men can't exist without women. You can't.
Y'all trying to replace this, so
you
I
can't.
don't know how, you know.
But so yeah, that was like playing a role in it, and then I also like had my first boyfriend like while at like the peak of the drama with my parents. By that point I was like 16, 17 years old, and I had also like got my first boyfriend, and like we had our breakup, and like it was just a dumpster fire. Piling up. Yeah, and so that happened, and then I had to go through
a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
So how did you get over? Like, how did you, start to love yourself?
So I like got hospitalized. Like when I tried to kill myself, I was 17, and I was like very much like lashing out in every which way possible. So like I would get like super wasted on the weekends. Like I was like 17 years old, getting blacked out drunk every weekend. And then my best friends finally like kind of told my mom everything. And then my mom called my school, and they had me removed from my like classes. And they literally, they were like, we need Mara and we need her bags. She's heading out. Picked you up. And they came and they took me and they put me in the hospital. Dang. So no one knew where I went. Like everyone was like, hello? Yeah. They just took her from math class and now she's gone. So I was in therapy, or I was in the hospital for a little bit, and then I had to go to like outpatient therapy. So I was on like medicine, therapy, group therapy, a whole thing. I was like learning my tools, but I was on like an antidepressant for like a year, and then I like started to get over it. I wouldn't say I really like learned self-love though until I was like in my early 20s, and I like left. I moved to LA for a while, and I
moved to LA like what, 2017? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like out there, and like there it was like, okay, I don't know anyone, so I had like this opportunity. It was like I could make up a story and be that,
a whole new person,
or I could just be myself, and if you like it, cool. If not, cool. Well, I don't care. I don't have friends here anyways, so whatever. And I suck at lying, so I just picked that route because I couldn't remember all these things.
It's easy to be yourself.
Yeah, and then people like, I just was able to create like a unit around me that just like let me be me, and then I just started being like, okay, these are my things, and
just embrace it.
Yeah, and then now I've just like, that's
amazing.
My MO.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Man. I applaud you for getting it together.
Yeah.
You never really, I guess, fully embrace self until 20-something. Like,
I think,
There's so many doubts in your head when you're young. I know, as a man, we go through it. Like, when we're young, we think that we, got all these issues when we want to talk to girls. If a girl don't like us, then it's just all on us again.
Right.
So it's like we go through it. But I think as men, we just so like, we don't give a fuck about too much. After it's done, it's kind of done, and we kind of move on real fast. But yeah, it's crazy to know that you went through that at a young age. So I applaud you. Getting better.
Thank you.
So how about you, Justin? What was life like for you growing up?
So I guess looking back at like my parents' relationship similar to hers, I've always been trying to like prove myself as a really good boyfriend, similar to my dad's. My mom and my dad's relationship was trash growing up. They probably should have got divorced. They're separated right now, not officially divorced.
Right.
But I think a lot of like my relationship problems come from their relationship growing up. It sounds like a super like white conversation. Like, oh my god, my mom, my dad, man. That's why I listen to Green Day, paint my nails black on the weekends. But there was a lot of like, I look back, like I overcompensate all the time in relationships. Like I'm a people pleaser all the time, just like my dad. Like we want to make sure everyone's happy all the time. But now I've stopped doing it with other people, and I just focus on my relationship only. Like I don't do it with other people now. I can't.
Right.
It spread me so thin for so long now that I'm just like, my family, love you guys, but if you're stressing me the fuck out, I can't deal with it. Like, I'm busy as shit.
That's a fact, yeah.
I'm very lucky if I get to go to the gym like twice a week, and I'd love to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But maybe twice a week if I have the time.
Damn.
I love running. Maybe twice a week I get to do that. So it's a lot of things, but the podcast takes up so much time. You know that. Editing, messaging people like, hey, you coming on? You still coming on? But I fucking love it, man. I love stress. Like, I don't know how I just live in it. My girl's always like, isn't that stressful? Like, unneeded stress? I'm like, I fucking love it.
Yeah, when you learn to live in the chaos and you learn to manage the chaos, it's a beautiful thing, especially when it's turning into something. So the podcast shit is like, it's not instant gratification, but you see it over time. Like as you keep,
it's like you water the seed, you put it in the sun, you talk
and you're
nice
just
to
watching
it.
this plant, and the plant is a stressful plant. You gotta water this motherfucker all the time.
I love it.
It costs a lot of money.
Sometimes it doesn't like that window. You gotta find a new window.
Yeah, it's like you gotta really work it, but at the end, it's still like this. You get this good feeling from it when people tell you how they fuck with it, they love it. You know what I mean? And
it's like sports too. Like if it's like sports, like you hate doing the push-ups and running and shit. End of the day, you win the game. Like, man the fuck up, deal with the stress, because the gratification comes at the end.
That's a fact.
Quit being a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. So, you went through a divorce prior to, starting. So is that where you came up with the name?
Love and then what? Yeah, there was a lot of different ones. That there was like Life After Love, like divorce. There was like a bunch of them. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't just about love, because obviously we kind of talk about relationships, but it's mostly like sex.
Freaky shit. Yeah,
it's a lot of freaky shit.
I want to say like the name is Love and then what, but it's like
shit. You can show love with blowjobs.
All the way on the other side.
Fucking rim jobs, whatever job you want to do, I'm cool with.
He takes the low hanging fruit. He's like, oh, I know what's gonna go right now, and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah,
sex always works. Sex is fun. Everyone has sex. I mean, Mara doesn't really have sex. Sometimes she does. It doesn't matter. Whatever you would say. But I mean, Yeah. So I got lost in my own conversation. What the fuck was I saying?
Yeah. You were saying that the love and the sex part is all
It's all intertwined. It's all the same shit. But
so what happened? What caused the divorce? Like,
I don't even know. Like, no idea. That's why it was so shocking. Like, no, there was no explanation.
Like, she just popped up like, I'm done?
She was, one day, she was like, I'm not happy. And then instantly cried. Don't care who knows it. If you do it, just say you did it.
You instantly cried?
And I haven't cried since my dog died when I was a kid. So nobody ever sees me cry. No, nobody ever, like, I never cried, but I instantly cried because I put so much time and effort into my relationship. Like, I just put, and I know I was, like, the best husband in the world. I'm amazing in relationships. I guess that probably goes back to my parents. But I put everything into that shit. Like, I make sure to, like, tell them I love them constantly. All the shit you want a boyfriend to do, fucking great at it. I'll spoon, whatever you want me to do. Like, I'm great at that shit.
What, you know, females are weird like that. I always say this, I'm like, anything you do that's great, like if you like loving on them, they want you to love on them less. And then when you love on them less, they actually love on them more. Oh. So you got to kind of walk this thin line of neglect. Like you got to kind of say like, fuck you, and then come back like, I love you though. And then
it's the best way to it's the best way to have sex. The best way to have sex, if you're a guy, you're like, I really want to have sex, like, don't say you want to have sex. Just ignore her not completely, like just one word answers. And then she's like, oh no, what did I do wrong? Maybe I'm not doing enough shit for sex. And then it leads to sex, and then
it's a lot of reverse psychology.
That's
women.
bad.
I agree. No man wants to do this. We just want to say, let's have sex, and we have sex. But girls aren't like that. They don't just go, okay. You have to fuck with their brain in order to fuck them.
You can't be too forward with it. You gotta pretend like you don't want it. You know, you gotta say, don't touch me. And then
I've always hated this cat and mouse game. I just want the cat. I don't want to play with the mouse. Like, it's always so many things. I've never understood it.
Yeah, that is weird. That is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, feel for you.
Well, basically, she was cheating on him.
Of course. She's a whore. That's why I go by the whore. Or she goes by the whore. I go by the fucking awesome man in the world.
Yeah.
You on?
But, so, they were hooking up, and she was calling him Poppy, but before she used to call him Daddy.
Fuck Puerto Rico. No, she never, it just randomly came. Fuck Puerto Rico, by the way.
It's like, that's just the story I tell because it makes the most sense.
Nobody knows. Nobody's ever really got the full story.
She left him for like a Puerto Rican guy, so I'm like, she was calling him Daddy, and then it switched to Poppy.
So she was really calling him Poppy, and then it was just,
she really came home one day and just started saying Poppy. I was like, what the fuck is that? No, I don't. But she was trying to like not.
You don't want to get a full story? Come on, give it to us.
She was in the National Guard, right? So she would go away 1 week in a month. And then when she first started, when we were in a relationship, she was dressing.
This is tea. I never got this.
Like like she wasn't dressing pretty. Like she's ugly as shit. She looks like a frog, right? So then suddenly she started like really dressing herself up. Like she's not wearing glasses anymore. She went from fucking Clark Kent to Superman. I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense. But I'm again super trusting because I'm a fucking idiot, right? And then there's so many details.
Come on, give it. I want to know.
It's just such a long story.
I gave you some good shit when I was over there.
Yeah, you did shave your butthole. In the bathroom, it was weird. Nobody knew what was going on. He was in there for a while. But you got to be careful when you're shaving the butthole. So she started to do that, and then like the week before she said this, she's like, you know, me and this guy at work flirt. But I was like, so like my brain wasn't there because this guy was at the wedding. He's been over our house multiple times. I was like, that's not fucking cool. Like, you can't just flirt with people. This dude's married, he has kids. He's like 50 or 60 years old. I'm like, this is fucking weird. But super daddy issues. Oh my God. So then the night she says, I'm not happy, I cry immediately. And then after me crying for like 30 minutes like a little bitch, she says,
what about that is a little bitch? Your
as
marriage was falling apart.
As a man, he could feel that way. I mean, he still understands it's part of being human. We cry.
Like you have to cry.
Yeah.
Okay, keep
I cried
going.
once in my life.
But you're not a bitch for crying.
2 times, whatever it was.
And that's why I love men, because I know that you're not a bitch for crying if you're a man.
So sweet. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they have her on fucking stilts over here, sitting up like she's tall. She's a fucking, she's 4'3". So anyway, so she comes home, says I'm not happy. Then I cry. Then at the end of it, she goes, we just need to work on some things. Really vague shit. The next day, she moves out to the neighbor's house who just had a baby, newborn baby, because she has no friends because nobody loves her because she's unlovable because she's a piece of shit. So she does that. And she just does not, like, she just doesn't say anything. I just put her shit in the suitcase, put it outside. I said, fuck out of here.
How much? All her shit fit in one suitcase?
Bro, she didn't have a driver's license, a bed, a job, nothing before this bitch met me. I give
Gave her life.
you were nothing, and you're still nothing without me. So anyway,
You're wild.
it's just facts. I'm just speaking facts. So she moves over there, doesn't say anything to me. Then she like lies to her family like that I threw a bunch of stuff out the window. My sister threw some pictures out. She's saying we threw the laptop out, all kinds of shit. None of that ever happened. Just some pictures of the wedding. Don't need to be there anymore, right?
Yeah, it's over.
Because you're not saying anything. And then I still have her phone records. She's texting and calling guys late as shit at night. Like, I see what you're doing. I call the guy. I'm like, yeah. Could you not? Could you not? Like, you know me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's some wild shit. Did you ever have a conversation with him? Like a face-to-face or anything like that?
Bro, after the divorce,
Just shut that
I
shit
shut
down?
shit down. Like, I started putting my pants on one leg differently at a time.
Yeah.
I changed the way I move completely different. Like, everything's different. I set up red zones where I was like, I'm not going to go here. Red zones have disappeared since then. I'll go fucking anywhere now. But everything I did, how I talk to people, how I move,
Right.
changed completely. I was like, not fucking doing this for it.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. You learn. That's why behind every asshole is a cunt. They fucked everything up for us. It could be you too. Behind every asshole is a dick.
No. It's like a problem with myself that I have to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a person that caused you to feel these
To
things.
react. Or
Yeah.
to cause you to feel. And then how you react is...
Part of you.
Yeah.
Right. But that's where you
I
you
know?
figure it out,
What
and
do I
then
know?
you level up from there.
Right.
You know, once you figure it out. But
Well, that's what I
he
say
did.
to him
He said
too,
that's
is
why
I'm
he
like,
said it.
you wouldn't be like living the life that you like love so much right now
If it wasn't for that.
you were still with this person.
Oh, by the way, I have a great relationship now. That's way better. She actually loves me. Like, before, like, I got sick once on a boat. This is like a sign that I should have known, like, don't do this shit. We went to Cancun. I got sick on a boat, seasick. Instead of like sitting there helping me, like caring about me, she's just like going over to the bow of the ship, like taking pictures of the ocean. Like, I'm throwing up.
Well, what do you want her to do? Sit there and hold it?
Say
Caress
something.
him,
No,
show him
say
some love.
something. What would I do if you were throwing up, Mara?
Yeah, hold his hair.
Like,
Well,
I
I mean,
would
to
be, oh,
a
it's
degree,
okay.
but then also, like, wouldn't you be like, I just paid for you to be on the ship, like, go fucking look at a dolphin or something?
Don't be like dying and then you over there like having your fucking best life. Like, I'm over here dying.
See,
and you
women
just-
don't understand. Like,
I would-
I'm
I
out
would be
here
like,
for
go,
me.
babe, I'm gonna
You're
go
just my
sleep.
accessory. You paid for it. We're out
Now,
here.
vice versa, she would be upset. If you were throwing up and he just walked off on you, he's like selfieing it up and shit like that, you feel it.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, yes, I get that she
That's
should
double standards for men.
love and caress him to a degree,
Yeah,
but at the
to a
same
degree.
time, like, if you're sick, like, personally, if I'm sick, like, just leave me alone. Like, I just want to, like, get the sickness out and then
Right.
keep it pushing, you know?
I guess.
Like,
So,
go
A
away.
simple pat on the shoulder. Attaboy, you okay? I paid for the whole fucking trip.
I
Just a
agree.
little
I
something.
agree.
I went into my savings to fucking bring you out here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know why
enjoying
you
your
did
best
that.
Oh,
life.
you know what the best part
Because
is?
it's out of love. See, men, we suckers, I guess. We suckers for love.
The best part about this whole thing is, so I was saving up money. She was adopted from Russia, right? I was saving
My
up
God,
money.
I'm just getting new info.
I was
This is
saving up
fire.
money to take her back to Russia. I was like weeks away from buying the ticket. I had all this information
to get her back to her
to get her
hometown.
back to where she came from. Visit her fucking orphanage. I was fucking, again, best boyfriend you ever fucking meet in your life.
Yeah.
And then she said it, and I was so happy that I didn't buy the ticket. Like,
Everything happens for a
and then
reason.
all that money, what did I do with it? Got a podcast where I call her a whore once a week if I want to.
Get your
Nice
revenge
little
somehow,
fucking
some way,
bow to
yeah.
wrap that shit up in.
Yeah. Podcasts get bigger and bigger, and then you can just yell it from a national stage and shit like that. Yeah, that's
Congratulations, me.
That's all. What they say, killing with success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best revenge. So before the podcast,
So
were you like ever in any other businesses prior to this? Like, were you
Like entrepreneur? No.
Yeah.
I was in the military. I was a PI.
Damn.
I've done a lot of things, and I was always
PI.
very reserved my whole life. That's why I switched up. I was like, because during the divorce, I almost killed myself. I was just like Mar, real close to that shit. I was like, I already almost died once. I'm back, and now I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
I mean, again, to a certain extent, I love my girlfriend. I don't do anything like that to fuck that up. But like, I'm not gonna just
You,
like
you living in your full self in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wish I started a podcast or wish I did this. I'm just gonna go do it now.
Right.
Go through all that you go through all that trauma. Now you're like, I'm free to be me.
Yeah. So you had to. You had to shed that skin in order to become the guy you are now.
Yeah. You go through prison and you're free. Here I am.
Exactly. There you go. Everybody get their little version of jail, I guess. Yeah, that's real.
In some way, yeah.
And now here we are. You got the podcast. So, Maura, talk about, I know you said something about Fairy Garden. You started that while you were out LA, like 2019?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you got going on over
Look
there?
at my secret notes, man. It's a secret notepad over there.
So I like had this mentor out there. Her name was Jude. So I went out there to do hair originally. So I graduated from Temple.
Dope.
And then my degree was like strategic, like communication and leadership. So I wanted to like go into companies and help them get like better synergy throughout their employees so that they could make more money. Yeah. So that was like my goal with school. But I also, the whole time that I was in school, I worked at a salon in the main line on the main line in Philly. And,
Manny Young, right?
in Glen Mills.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And all the hairstylists were like, oh, the best school that you could go to for hair is Vidal Sassoon. It's in LA. Like, there's only one of them in the country. And it was like literally $3,000 more than like the place down the street.
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, we're just
down
going to
the
head out. No, I'm going across the country. Like, it's only $3,000 extra. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like...
I thought you were saying the 3,000 was a lot.
No. I'm like, in the grand scheme
She'll get
of
a
things.
daddy to pay for it, you know what I mean? Like, she don't have to want for nothing.
No, I literally worked at a barbershop. I worked at a barbershop, a hair salon, and a restaurant, like, the whole year and a half before I left. Like, I decided that that's what I was going to do. Like, I'm like, once I finish school, I'm going to leave and go to LA and go to this school. So I just hustled, like, that whole time.
Yeah.
And I got out there. We would get like random clients, people who would get like these discounted haircuts.
Right.
And
To deal with a student.
And I would get like the coolest clients all the time. And this one client I had, her name was Jude, and she was like an astrologer and like a Reiki master. Like, she was just cool as shit. Like, I've never met someone like this in real life in Philly.
Right.
So, like, I'm out there. She's from Australia. She's like, oh, let's look up your birth chart. Like, by the time I was done cutting this lady's hair, I was basically, like, sitting in the chair next to her, like, kikiing with her. And
Just
so,
talking and busting it up.
Yeah. And so she's like, we, like, looked up my birth chart, and she's like, oh, like, you're a Pisces sun and an Aquarius moon. She's like, you live in a world of your own. And when I was 17, going through whatever I was going through, I got a tattoo and it says "in a world of my own" on my side. So when she said that to me, I was like, huh?
She had you.
Yeah, I was like, sold. So she would do like these like full moon meditation up in the Topanga Canyon, and we would like hike up into the canyon, and then we'd like meditate under the moon and like whatever.
Oh.
Do shrooms.
Yeah, no shrooms, just regular shit.
Trying to do some show.
It's regular shrooms.
Let me know. I love shrooms. So, she and I would always go to her, like, every month there's a full moon and a new moon. So every time that she would have one of these hikes, I would go, but she was like literally like 65 years old. And so all of the women that would go with her were all older too. So I, most of the time, was like the youngest in the group. And I'm, like I said, like a kid, like when you guys were trying to get us set up, like, Mara, how are you going to sit? Like, here. Like, I'm just always like bouncing around. And so I would always have, like, I'd love to go to the dollar store in LA too. They had the cool shit. And I would get like really cool scrunchies and sunglasses and like just random accessories, but they would always be like OD, like super glittery or super colorful. And the one day we were on a hike for summer solstice, and I had on like these big sunglasses and this really sparkly scrunchie, and all the older women were like, where did you get these things? And I'm like, the dollar store. And they're like, what? And I'm like, y'all don't go to the dollar store because you're rich and bougie.
Yeah,
I'm
out
like,
LA.
you got to go to, like, they have everything there. So Jude is like, oh, like, she always has little things that would be perfect for a fairy garden. And she was always teaching me things. So I'm like, what is a fairy garden? And she's like, you keep it where you meditate, and it invites like positivity and like playfulness into your meditations and like just like feel good energy.
Wow.
And I'm like, she's like, you live in your own fairy garden. And I do. Like, I'm like very much, it's like kind of bad. Sometimes I'm very detached from reality, which is like, I look at it as a strength. My mom does not. But
Nor do I.
yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. But so all the ladies were like, go to the dollar store and buy us those scrunchies, and like you can start like sell them.
Right.
So, and like I would like wear these things on purpose because I'm like, oh, I'll put it on and I'm just like in a better mood. Like, you know, so I was like, makes sense. So that day we ended up like pulling tarot cards the same day that she taught me about the fairy garden. And I pulled a card for the group, and it ended up being, it was like an earth themed deck. So there's usually like 87 cards in a tarot deck. And this deck, instead of being a traditional deck, it was like all illustrations, like the earth card and like ocean card and whatever. So I ended up pulling the fairy card, and I was like mind blown because I'm like, we were just talking about fairies. Like, what? Yeah, so I'm all the time. So I'm like, okay. So I end up leaving. I'm like, in my mind, like, okay, I'm going to the dollar store to get all these ladies their things, and I'm going to start a company called Fairy Garden. And so I go back to the house, and I like tell my best friend this whole story, and she's like, you can't call it Fairy Garden. I'm like, I didn't pick that name, but like that's what it is. Like that's what we're doing. It's things you can wear to feel better.
Right.
Like, and so she's like, we need to pick a new name. Da 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 da. I'm like, bitch, I don't really care. We gotta go to the dollar store to get the scrunchies, and like that's it. So we're like at the dollar store. I'm like, we'll deal with that part later. And I'm like,
and still kept the name.
Well, so I'm going through this like aisle that has like all these like accessories in it, and there's like calendars above. And a calendar fell down, and it was a fairy calendar. I'm like, it's called Fairy Garden. Like, I don't really want it to be called that either, but like that's what it is.
It's falling in your lap.
Yeah. I'm like, it picked itself. So I started it out there, and then I've had it for like 4 years now, and it's kind of like become other things, but it's just based off the idea of like, you are what you eat. But like when I say you are what you eat, it's not just like what you're physically eating. It's like what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're reading.
That's
like, so I have like Fairy Garden Radio, and it's like 13 hours of songs that are just like actually worth singing. Like songs from like Big Sean's my favorite artist. So he's like always like dropping gems in music. Like he's just giving you keys.
He's dope.
Yeah. And so I'm like, it's like that. And it's just like, because I feel like we're just so mindless, and like we get like programmed, and like everyone's like always like, oh, I'm just listening to that in the background. Like that especially is like when your guard is down and your subconscious mind is going right in, and like now you're listening to like so-and-so getting cheated on by their boyfriend or their girlfriend, and like now you're gonna like look for this to like create your life without even actually knowing it. You know what I mean? So it's like it became like the playlist, and like the clothes that you wear, like things that you could put on to like think differently or like move.
Shirt, right?
Yeah, this is just the logo today. But like one of my designs, like, so there's this guy, his name's Earl Nightingale, and he talks a lot about he was like actually a broadcaster in the 50s, and he is like one of the first that recorded one of his broadcasts and then like sold it as like a tape. And he has a book too. It's like they transcribed it into a book, but it's called The Strangest Secret, and he talks a lot about like how people are always like competing with each other and like trying to keep up with the Joneses, and half the time the Joneses don't even know what they want. So like everyone's like kind of like just being something that they're not, and they don't even want to be at the same time. So he talks about like everyone's always competing with each other. He's like, you don't have to compete, you just have to create, and like then you will create your own abundance. Yeah. And so, and like also like people will, you know, gatekeep and stuff. It's like what's meant for you will be yours. So you should share your resources because it's not going to hurt you. But like that's like that lack mentality that like I have to like keep all this for me.
Yourself and worry about stuff.
So like the first design I put out for Fairy Garden was like the concept like create over compete, and it's like they were these t-shirts, and like I sold them out, and then I like moved on to like just different like I want you to look and like your brain start to think.
Gotcha.
And so like there's one that like I sent to Diddy, and like it was the open heart, open mind. It's like an open sign, and there's a brain and a heart, and it's like if you're operating with that, like your life is just going to be better. And so, yeah, things like that. There's a smiley face that says, like, impossible isn't real. It's like, what would your life look like if time and money didn't matter? And then, like, you start to think about that, and then you start acting
everything,
it.
yeah. All right, I got to get my Fairy Garden together like this, right?
I should have brought you some. That was dumb.
I'm sure we'll speak again, you know. I'll come over there to you guys' studio.
Yes.
Come pick up my Fairy Garden package. But I know you guys hungry. Everybody comes for the food.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Mara doesn't eat. This is a big thing. I'm
eat.
very excited because Mara never eats, and if I eat anything before a podcast, I'm gonna shit my brains out. So you guys are gonna have to deal with me farting and Mara eating. This is like a really like.
It's about to get real.
It's a beautiful.
It's really exciting.
I'm gonna take my second shot.
It's about to get real.
I literally was at
shit.
a doctor's office today, and they were like doing stuff with needles, and my girlfriend's like, "You ate today, right?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Bruh."
She works out hard as fuck too. Like,
I work out every day.
Like, I mean, it's like a girl
problem.
workout. You know what I mean? Like she posts pictures on Instagram of her like going like this. You know?
Busting my ass. You could check.
She's like,
you could check. I go off in the
she's
gym. I'm like
twerking.
training for the fight of my life. Like, there's no fight.
But there's no
that
training.
is
There's no
what
training
I'm
if you don't
doing
eat.
All girls
in
do
my
in the
head.
gym is run and squat. Like I be in the gym
No,
watching girls.
they hump
like,
bars all day.
Literally,
I
They
don't
hump the
hump
shit out of
bars.
bars all day.
Yeah.
They just put the bar on their tits or on
they did
their
a
pussy,
thing?
and
Yeah.
they just pop their pussy like this. Don't stop, don't push. That's all they do all day.
All fucking day. Listen, we about to get into this food. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. We got Justin. We got more. The Love and Then What podcast. We'll be right back. Let's go.
It's our favorite part of the show.
That's your favorite.
Yes, sir. Ah, chef, what you got cooking?
You already know.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. It's Cooking Up 215, and it's my favorite part of the show. It's time to get into that food. We got an old friend of the show with us right now. We got Vegan Chef Bay in the house. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
It's been a while, man.
Just a
Nice to
tad.
have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell the people what you got for us today.
So I just made an Italian dish. Okay, a little spaghetti. Now I didn't know who the guests were, so this is a little fitting. Y'all not Italian, but you know what I'm saying. So it's good. It works though. It's good. Meatless Mondays. It's vegan though, but it's good.
I didn't know that.
It tastes like people's grandma's food.
I said that you wasn't making vegan food.
I wasn't going to.
And then you just decided to.
Yeah, because my food tastes like regular food anyway. It's just vegan.
Okay, all right. I ain't arguing with you. I'm just, just saying.
So anyway, my food tastes really good. It tastes like it's not vegan. It tastes like your grandma's cooking. You'll be all right. But it's vegan, so it's healthier for you.
It's healthy. I guess I missed the gym a couple times, so this will be me getting right with the universe.
There you go. I got a vegan challenge coming up next week.
All right, come in.
Yep.
Trying to lose a couple pounds before I go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Go away.
Yeah, birthday coming up. His birthday coming up.
Yeah, it'll be past by the time y'all see this, but say happy
That's
birthday.
true. Happy birthday. Say it anyway.
There you go.
Send them cash out.
Let the people know where they can follow you, how they can get some of this good food too. You know what I'm saying? Some of this vegan spaghetti.
Okay, you can follow me at Royal Letter T Vegans. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Follow me there on Instagram, and you can get spaghetti, you can get vegan chicken, oxtails, and my summer menu coming out. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Listen, you already know what it is. Your boy Smooth, Vegan Chef Bay. We about to get into this food.
Bon
Let's go.
appetit.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, and it's time to get back to the show. Listen, Vegan Chef Bay. She came and she laced us. We got some spaghetti. And she said it's vegan, but I couldn't tell just looking at it. You know what I'm saying? We got some toast. I burnt some toast off camera. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot going on today. But this is the time we pick them forks up and we dive in and we let the people know what we working with.
This is now a competition between me and Mara to see who can eat faster. Go.
No, I'm unbuttoning
Just
my
stuff your
pants
face.
so that I can fully enjoy myself.
What the fizz? That's good.
That's good.
How's that with the sound? You just hear me eating.
Little ASMR form.
Congratulations.
That's good, though. That's real good.
Oh my god,
You know,
it's
it's
like
hungry.
a sweet sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
I've never tasted that before, but I like it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Justin made me take the plate with more food.
Because
because
she
I
doesn't
don't
eat.
eat.
That's good.
It's like the perfect chef for Mar. You gotta have her on once a week. Even if there's no cameras, and just give her food. And just pretend like put lights on and she'll like, oh my god, I'll eat something.
Oh, she gotta eat.
She only eats when she's on camera, even when she's not supposed to.
I've been eating more because I've been seeing this guy. He's like, if I didn't feed you, would you find another guy? I'm like, no, I wouldn't eat.
And the reason he does that is because I told him that you don't eat. So
You put them there.
I get her fed all the time just by my words. Congratulations. This is the part where you say thank you.
I'm busy.
This is good. This is good. I'm not gonna hold y'all. That's the crazy part. So it's like you could really eat, vegan
Yeah, and not now.
and really be straight. I'm trying to convince myself and the others around me to just go like straight raw. Like I'm trying to go straight like Dr. CB diet.
My
Straight raw
girlfriend
veggies and fruits and shit.
is like that, and she is ripped.
Man, I heard that shit does the body wonders. Like, for real. I don't know. One day. I'm still a little young. You know what I'm saying?
You got time.
I'm only halfway there. About
Bread
30,
is fire
30 something.
too.
Right?
That's good.
Toast popping.
Thank you so much. So good.
Thank you, Chef Bay. It's good. I never tasted anything like that before, and I love it.
Yeah, no, it's delicious.
And I was fat for a long time, so it's very rare that I eat something that I've never tasted.
You used to be fat when you was a kid?
No, I was fat like a year ago. Like I
Like,
started
fuck being a kid.
like when I
yeah.
think like right before the fitness competition I was 220. I dropped like 10, 15 pounds for that. Now I'm like 188 or something like that. I went from IPAs every day to not drinking, so. And now I'm drinking tequila here, so,
But you know the reason why I drink tequila? Because it's like the best shit you could drink. It doesn't like all
Yeah,
them
like if you're
sugars and
gonna
all that
drink,
extra shit. Yeah, it's like, especially if you get a real tequila, like it's pure agave. So
Is that what that is?
yeah. Well, I don't know about the H&M. I believe it is all agave, but when I was in like Mexico and shit, they were like Jimador is a good drum, and it's not even expensive at all. Jimador is a good one.
Oh,
There's a couple other ones, but I've heard Casamigos is not. So like people always, trying to get the Casa. And they say Casa is not it. They got like added shit in there a little bit.
High sugar.
They try to fake the taste for the process, but it's not it. Yeah, this shit is really hitting. Y'all see how like we can't talk as much as I would never talk? I don't know, for some reason I feel like I was like a little bit hungrier than normal.
Honestly, it's just so sweet. I love it.
what time do you normally eat dinner?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been trying to eat like 6, 7 o'clock nowadays. I used to eat late, but I've been doing this thing where like I only eat like one time a day.
You're like fasting?
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to give your body 16 hours to
16 hours
process
off,
your
8
food and
hours
shit.
on.
Yeah,
It's
so
intermittent fasting. That's how I first lost so much weight. I fluctuate,
and even then like
which is probably why I don't eat. Because I'm like,
when it's
I
like-
know what this can. I know where we can go.
where you can go.
Yeah.
But like even when the time allows, like where I can, I just tend to not to. I'm always so like, like you said, this podcast shit takes a lot. So I'm like always on the computer. Like I live with my laptop on my lap. So always doing some shit. So by the time I finally get time, and I feel like I have to wait till I'm done on my shit before I can just get comfortable,
Right.
I'm like fucking 5, 6 o'clock. It's like long as you eat before the sun goes down, you know what I mean? You're cool.
Yeah. Give yourself time before you go to bed. See, like when I intermittent fast, I just like don't start eating until like 2, but I'll let myself eat until like 10. And then repeat the next day.
But now you just eat
But
at 10
people
o'clock.
are like, yeah, I know, but it doesn't bother me
To eat what at 10?
to eat like before I go. Like as soon as I put my head down, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, I'm not. See, I'm a heavy like. I think it's like one of the best times to eat is before you go to bed. You know what I mean? Like people worry about
Yeah.
like you get the itis and shit, and then it's like
I want the
When
idea.
is the best time to get the itis?
That's fine.
Right before you go to fuck the bed.
Right.
Like what?
Girls math ain't mathing for me, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That shit don't make sense. Like, nah, you eat right before you go to bed, you sleep fucking great. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They be like, yo, your body's working. No, my body's not working. I think my body is fully shut down after this meal. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, why are you like not supposed to?
yeah. So the thing with the intermittent fast, they say is like, when you give your body 16 hours, so it'll like eat up the shit that you ate, and then at the same time, it'll start like processing beyond that. So like, yeah, bad cells in your body and shit like that, it'll help push those out and get rid of all that shit too. So it's like, you know, why not? I guess if it's free, like, you know, all I gotta do is stop eating. Cool. All right, I'll take that detox.
I'm so nervous not to fart right now because all I do is fart when I eat. Like, all I'm thinking about right now is don't fart, bro. And the last time I had vegan food, nothing against vegans, I had like the worst diarrhea ever.
Oh my
I was at work and I didn't.
Justin, like we're literally actively eating.
It's story time,
Not that
isn't
I
it?
Yeah, go
care,
ahead.
but
I'm
like,
listening. I'm
It's
listening.
story time. The shit came out like spaghetti now. It was like the whitest poops I've ever had. Besides that last time I shit my pants when I was supposed to come on your show. Remember the last time I was supposed to come here,
Yeah.
but you forgot to tell the crew, and I shit my pants that day, which I haven't done in so long. I haven't done since I was a kid, and I shit my pants.
Yeah, you told me about that. He said he shit his pants.
no, that is not happening here today.
I can't guarantee it, and I'm regretting the khakis right now and the shorts because they can come out now. I should have worn some like hip huggers, you know what I mean?
Shit just dripping down the back
So
of
if
your
I
calf.
fart, it means compliments to the chef, right? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I'm gonna take that as that. I feel like I'm open to fart now.
I hate it here.
You might just go
And by
viral.
here, I mean just next to Justin.
Every time I talk, she hates it.
What's up?
It's a good confidence boost for me.
That shit was hitting though. I ain't gonna hold you.
This is really good.
That joint was hitting. Like I'm leaving a little bit just for like, you know, aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm not that fat. I'm gonna leave a little bit.
So I ain't like I went crazy and savage on y'all.
No, I'll
But,
go savage.
So what are your guys' plan for love and then what? Like where do you see it? Where are you trying to take this to?
I just like meeting new people. So, I mean, that's winning to me. Meeting new people is amazing. Obviously, getting paid for it, that's what everyone wants. We're in the process of living our own dream. Similar to you. I mean, we're not making money yet, obviously, but
Sometimes.
sometimes.
If
I
I
mean,
posted a hoodie.
if you post a hoodie, but we're still net negative, but it doesn't matter. So, but
Yeah.
Mara just lives for free. That's Mara's life. But, I mean,
Okay.
obviously, you want to get paid for your dream. It takes
Right.
so fucking long, though. People don't understand how long it takes. Some people get lucky and they get viral right off the bat. Don't know how they do it. We've had a bunch of viral videos, actually, but, I mean, viral doesn't always equal money.
Sometimes it means you can't get an adult job. Because you're saying crazy shit on the internet.
That's why I go by Mr. Everybody. I can still get jobs. Hire me.
I played myself.
She
Crazy
goes
part,
by.
right? So like we deal with podcasts, and I think like I feel like we are a special breed because I mean there's a bunch of us that are podcasting that are not celebrities. We didn't start off with like this fucking huge ass bag of money or knowing every fucking famous person in the city, so they just get this famous guy to come sit on your show and make your shit go crazy. So it's like it's a longer road. But I think is more bang for your buck in a sense. Like, you know, you really get that accomplishment and you get it from the ground up. I feel like so many people out here, a lot of these podcasts, they got crutches. You was in the game or folks is in the game and now you could just holler at him and he could bring the next famous motherfucker up and now your shit goes viral. It's like a cheat code to me. I feel like it's not the same.
I mean,
don't
if
give
you
it the same
have
point.
your resources, you should use them.
Always. I still
But-
don't give it the same.
Whatever. I'm like, I
Mara
get what
does
you're
not.
saying.
Mara does not.
What? I don't what?
Who you hanging out with tomorrow? I'll
Oh.
leave that shit.
Are you going out with Diddy?
No, not tomorrow.
That's next week.
That's next week, yeah. Like what?
No.
She'll talk to Jeff at the corner store. Like, hey, you want to come on the podcast?
I try to, when I meet cool people, I'm like, hey, there's this podcast I'm on. Do you want to come on? And then they'll look at the clips and they'll be like, why are you talking about prolapsed anuses? And I'm like,
Those are the best kind of
that's
anuses.
a good question.
For those that don't know what a prolapsed anus is, it's when the anus comes outside of the body, so when your butthole comes outside. It kind of looks like an elephant trunk, but pink. In case you're curious. I'm now an expert on prolapsed anuses. I've never had one. Don't want one, but I know what they look like. There's some people holding their heart over there.
I'm saying.
I pledge allegiance to the prolapsed anus, yes.
Oh my God. Well, so sometimes people are like, no, I don't want to come on. But
They get scared.
And then
yeah, they get scared.
they're the wrong people to have one anyway. If you're not with,
If you ain't down,
if you don't like
don't
to
come
have
around.
fun, then what's the point of your life?
If you're not down, don't come around. That's
Right,
all.
right.
It's that easy.
But tomorrow I'm getting lunch with, dinner with, do you know who Dr. Pimple Popper is?
Not familiar.
She's like a doctor and she's
pimples.
a dermatologist, but she pops pimples and she started doing it on YouTube. This is like years ago.
And then like all them oozing videos and shit.
Crazy ones.
She started that whole thing.
She started that. But so when I lived in LA and I went there to do hair, I always would be like, I want to do hair for famous people. And everyone's like, you're not going to do that. And then I did.
You did it, yeah.
And so I was like part of her crew for 3 seasons for TLC.
Dope.
And she's in New York this week. So she's like, we're getting dinner. Like, come up.
Oh. Dope.
So, but it was so cute. Actually, she is starting a pot. Like, she was just like dope. Like, she's someone who, she went to school in Philly. So, like, when her and I met, it was like, I already had like a little bit of a
Connection.
head than everybody else because she's like, oh, you're from Philly? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Water,
win.
cheesesteaks.
And so, and also like my mentor did her hair and they would just like leave me on set for the day to like do touch-ups all day. So I just sat with her all day. So we would just kiki all day. Like,
What is Kiki? You keep saying that.
like
Laughing,
play, like,
bullshit.
yeah, like just
Sometimes
bullshit.
like, Key, girl,
Like
Key.
have fun.
Is that like dance?
So,
Party and bullshit.
yeah, like that.
That's Kiki.
So, we would just be stuck together all day. But she would always, like, when I told her I was leaving to come back to Philly, she's like, good, she needs to be like a big fish in a little pond. Like, she's like, in LA, she's a little fish in a big pond. Like, let her go back there and, like,
Be a big
blossom.
fish.
And then, like, I did. And now she's, like, coming back. She's like, anytime I'm on the East Coast, I'm going to try and see you. And so, and her and her girlfriend are actually, like, her best friend are starting
Podcast.
and I saw on their thing the other day, and she was wearing my Fairy Garden sweatshirt on the podcast. I'm like,
That's so dope.
I was like, why are you like this? Like, but she is like that. Like, she's just like, so, like, if she, like, her people are her people. Like,
Right.
I don't have to talk
And
to
she
her
fucks
every
with you,
day
she
or any
supports-
month.
yeah.
Yeah, like, she's just like,
A natural.
Bring
Yeah.
up Wawa and water and cheesesteaks and get her back here, and then we can do shoot podcast.
I just don't see her coming to Philly for
But
our
not
podcast.
for the podcast. You're starting with Wawa, water, and cheesesteaks.
Well,
You
it's
gotta
funny.
slide,
When I was on
slide
LA,
that in there. You gotta slide the podcast.
I mean,
in.
she sees what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, she knows what's going on, but I'm not like I'm just very much like a flow person. Like, if
You're
it
not
works,
forcing it. You're not gonna ask. If
I'm not-
it happens,
that's
it
like,
happens
I'll tell
sometimes.
him, like, there's been times where, like, I've told stories on the podcast, and Justin wants to use it. I'm like, I didn't tell the story for us to go
to
viral.
gain something
I
from
just,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you a story because it's fucking funny, and it goes with the conversation. If someone wants to go in there, into the episode and find
And
it,
find
God
The
bless.
best shit. Mar will not let me release the best shit on clips. So you're
won't.
missing out on a huge part of the podcast. And Mar's actually telling some stories if you're only watching the clips. Clips are great. I do a great job with them.
Hold on. So you put it out, but you don't let him use it as the clip.
Because she
for the
doesn't pay
Instagram.
for it. She just sits there and
Not
be
always.
pink. You know what I mean? She's just, I show pink.
Because here's the thing. You keep talking about the universe too, so I know you're going to understand what I'm saying, but there are frequencies to things.
Facts.
If the way, like, he'll clip things and the energy that the clip is giving is like thirst. We're not doing that. Like, we don't, if you think that we have it, like, we have it. We don't need to, like, do the pick me energy to, like,
That's a fact.
get it.
That's
You know what
a
I mean?
fact. Cause I do live by that. Like I'm bad, period. I feel like I don't post enough, and it's crazy that we get the traction that we get and people fuck with as much as we do. But like, I'm like, man, like we lucky if we posting 1 clip a day sometimes. But I do want to get to the 3 clip a day type shit. But I'm not like a heavy clipper. Like you just take what you give. And like you said, if you fuck with us, you're gonna fuck with us. Like I'm not forcing you, and I damn sure I don't chase. Yeah, I don't
I'm not
chase.
chasing you.
I don't chase viral moments. I don't chase viral people. I don't do any of that. I just kind of just put it out there and just kind of leave it.
I'm a masturbator.
I'm like, he is thirsty. I'm like,
I'm not thirsty. I'm poor. I need water. I'm so fucking. Yes, I am. I'm so thirsty. I need money. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like.
So do I, but
it's a long game.
It's a knowing.
Like, that's the thing.
Yes,
it's
that's
a long
what I'm saying.
game.
Like it's either if you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
And it'll come, but it's a matter of that knowing, and like not trying to like
force it out.
Yeah.
Cause you can't. I don't think you can. Like if like I've had viral moments. I've had people that I feel like should be viral.
Yeah.
Like I've had like fucking Gilly and all them, like, but it's just like if it's not time, it's just not time.
Right.
So you just kind of just gotta just go with it. Everybody's not gonna get it though, cause it is hard sometimes because you are putting a shit ton of money behind this shit on a regular basis, like just
right.
production and all that shit. Like you know what I mean? If you look around at the cameras, this is all like $2,500 each.
Right,
and,
right.
So it's like you do be feeling it. Like I know the weight that you bear. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, just Jesus on the cross with it. Like, fuck it, I gotta carry this.
Right.
I'm gonna carry it, and I just put the time in. But it is hard, and I think it's just like you'll drive yourself crazy. You know what I mean? Not just speaking to you, but anybody. Period. It's like when you chase that shit, because now you're always looking for that, and it'll drive
It's like
you crazy.
a hot, like
and then if
like
you don't
want,
get
like
it,
a quick hit,
Yeah.
It's like no slow burn.
Yeah.
Watch. Just
it's like
wait.
drugs. It's like drugs. If you chase it and then you'll forever be chasing. But if you just give them like the natural moments that just feel good, and it's just like you'll build that following. Like I don't want the, you know, like the fans of today's age. I want the J. Cole fans. I want the fucking Nas fans. I want the Jay-Z fans. Like the motherfuckers that stick with you forever. You know what I'm saying? So those are the ones you feed. So it's like I'm giving clips that may not be the viral clips, but the people that appreciate it will be just like me in a sense.
Well, and it's like you know,
they
people
connect.
are getting like they're taking the clips and painting the picture. It's like no. That is so you can come into the gallery and look at the pictures.
Yeah, and they take that as a whole thing.
Yeah,
versus looking at the whole thing.
Exactly, and then you get put in like a category, and I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing.
You don't want to be put in that category.
Yeah, no.
I don't even like prolapse anuses. Yeah.
No.
You said you like prolapse.
I don't even like them. Just sometimes they should. I haven't shown one in a while.
Okay, well, when I met Malik, Joe's friend this weekend, he came on the podcast, and you want to know what the thing that he said was? Why'd he make me watch that shit? I said, I don't know, because we don't do that anymore, because I'm there, and I will leave.
Watching what? The prolapse anuses?
He'll make you watch just weird things.
It's the best game ever made because the best thing is the reactions, and Mara just quits right away.
I'll just leave.
She's just a terrible, like, there's no showmanship, there's no gamemanship, there's nothing. It's just, I'm pink. And then she walks away.
No, it's about, and that's the thing too, because then it's like if you got something and you feel it, like that thing could be the thing, and everybody doesn't do it too, so it's not like this thing that everybody is doing, so it's something different. It's just always just trusting your gut, fucking with what you fuck with.
Yeah, just let me walk away then.
But your reactions would be the best reactions. Do you not get that?
I don't react. I hate reacting. It takes me out of my, like...
And that's what he wants. He wants the reaction.
Yeah, and I won't. This is across the board. This is why men hate me. Because y'all want me to react, and you'll be like, I'm not coming. I'm like, okay.
And then,
wait, a man doesn't
What do you
come to you?
mean? Like, you know, I'm like, okay, do whatever's best for you. I love that for you. And they're like, you don't care. Da, da, da. No, I care, but like, I can only care so much.
Right.
About coming?
Anything. Literally anything. You want to talk to that girl? Go talk to her. I don't care. I'm going to walk over here.
Yeah, men don't like that.
I know.
Men do not like that.
I'm learning. No, yeah, daddy. That's what I was
That's
saying
what that is?
earlier
Yeah.
when I said I
Yeah.
realized I have to go to therapy.
Fix some old things. and
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
I wonder how much they talk like therapy helps, but I think you could do therapy on your own if you recognize what your issues are, and then learn some new approaches to them.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never had therapy, but I feel like I've worked my way out of like a lot of bad habits and shit
And
on my
you know
own.
what's
in a sense.
working and what's not.
Exactly, and typically you know what's wrong half the time. So it's like
Right.
you go to a person and then you tell them all your shit, which you already know all your shit.
Right.
So now I tell them all my shit, and then they just say like, work on you, love you. And I'm like, oh well, shit, I could have figured that out. So
I did the working on you for so long that I just told myself quit being a bitch. That's the only thing that ever helped me.
yeah,
Mars, I know your face is doing what your face is doing. It always does. But
that's part
Mars
of it,
shit
though.
is the same thing I'm saying.
It won't after
I
today,
just I'm just the
probably.
man version of Mars
Yeah.
sayings.
yeah. But telling yourself don't be a bitch is part of it too. Because
Yeah.
it's like so a lot of times with men, our things is like, being too standoffish, holding back, shit like that. It's like
But
the
wouldn't
reason why
don't be a
God didn't get
bitch-
his dream girl is like, you said, why is it don't be a
Okay,
bitch?
no, but like, isn't like you're saying they don't feel their shit, like da 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 da. Don't be a bitch does not facilitate feeling your shit. Which if you just felt it, then you wouldn't keep feeling it later. If you just got one round of feeling it out, you might not have to keep suppressing
Going through
it
it.
and stop being a bitch. Like, be a bitch one time, bitch.
And feel it.
Feel your shit, and then you can keep
Feeling
pushing.
it, but feeling it is only like part of it because you gotta feel it and then you gotta overcome it and then you gotta become this true you, this true version of yourself, and that's where don't being a bitch comes in at, because being a bitch is like, it's not about being a punk, it's not about being a sissy or being a wussy, it's about like just not listening to yourself, not following your dream, just fucking catering to everybody else and feeling like, all right, I'm worried about them more than I'm worried about myself. Nah, don't be a bitch, worry about yourself. Put yourself
It's
first.
self-love
Do what you-
through bitchness.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
it's
have
like,
the same words. We just use a man version because I'm taller than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm cooler than you. That's what everyone says. Everyone says it funnier, better looking. I know what you guys are saying. Thank you all.
yeah, it's like you could be like, man, I think men, we go through stages. I always tell like every time girls come on, they like, we had this conversation about like where shit starts at, and I'm like, it start with like a man getting his heart broke from a female. And
I
that's,
think
that's
it's-
where a lot of this shit stem from. Like even when it comes to ain't shit men, they're like that way because it
They're
was
like
like
that because their mom told them that they weren't shit.
no.
A lot of times,
Your mom can tell you this shit all the time. It's a female. It could be a mom, but it could be another woman.
Or it
There's
could be your dad.
One woman somewhere that was
or
like,
it could be you were in the
depleted you
womb and your
And she
mom
was
was
telling you
getting
what to
told
shit?
that she wasn't shit, so then she passed on
and
that.
transferred it on to you.
Just saying.
And that's
I think
some
it's
deep-
deeper than a woman that came into your
that's
life.
some deep transference issues right there. But most of the time for men, that shit is real surface layer, but it can go back so far where you don't even fucking peep that it came from there. I feel like a lot of shit come from there. Like dudes, like why do dudes gotta sleep with multiple women and all that shit? Because it was like this one girl, and he loved her, wanted to give her everything. She played him, and then he had to go get his fucking lick back. And not even that he did it for revenge, he did it to feel better because she made him feel like shit. So now he goes get told he's the shit by 10 other girls
Well,
at the
he could
same
just tell
time.
himself that he's the shit, and then it would be.
And that's
kaput.
where you get the don't be a bitch thing. That's where you telling yourself you the shit. But you don't get there.
But I feel like guys are like, "Don't be a bitch,"
You don't get there till later. You don't
and
get
they're
there
like,
till, you
"Don't be
damn-
a bitch," means fuck multiple women.
Nah.
I'm confused.
That's not
No,
too
that's self-love, man.
Yeah,
We're over
yeah,
here-
the don't
we
be a
buy
bitch part
ourselves
is
flowers.
after that.
We hold our own hands. Bruno
Yeah.
Mars told us that.
The don't be a bitch part
Miley
is after
Cyrus said something similar. I don't remember the song, but she did something like that too.
Buy myself flowers.
Yeah, and hold our own hands. That's what we can do.
that. Miley Cyrus.
Make myself
I
come.
wouldn't know the Miley Cyrus song at all.
I heard it. It's a terrible song. I never listened to it before, and then I heard it on the radio the other day. I was like, this is terrible. She's just telling girls to break up with your man because you can do it yourself. Like, this bitch probably calls multiple divorces, multiple
wow.
breakups. Like, she should be in jail.
I
Mar,
can't-
should be a
women are
crime.
great.
Should be a crime.
me, my body temperature rising. I'm like,
You feeling it?
Pressure.
Alright. But alright, we'll leave the relationship because it can get so deep with the
It
relationship.
can.
Alright, so what about you, Mar? What's your plans for like Fairy Garden?
I would like to. This year, I'm gonna start taking clients to like mindset coach, and start working on things and like
Gonna
the.
take you, Jess?
Good luck. there's a bond of hate there. There's no chance.
Yeah, so I'll start taking clients. I'm gonna try and bring my podcast back this summer, and that's really it. Just like expanding.
Yeah.
I've been like, since I came back to Philly, I've been distracted. I started, like, bottle serving, and, like, I got, like, just not focused on the things that I need to focus on.
That'd be the thing about Philly. It's so much shit. It pulls you in, sucks you in, got you going 10 different ways all the same time.
It's been helpful because, like, I'm able to meet people, and I don't drink, and I love to be by myself. So, like, getting paid to go, like, out with my hair and makeup done is fire. But I got to find the balance. So I'm, like, in the midst of finding that right now.
Okay. All right, that's dope.
What do you got planned for the summer?
For the summer?
Or for the upcoming year? Because your birthday's coming up, too.
Yeah, my birthday coming up. I'm going to go to Vegas and relax and go on vacation. We got some episodes to hold us over. But, I mean, long run with cooking up, we got big plans. We got, like, crazy fucking plans. I don't even know if I want to tell you because there's a lot of people that be, like...
I get what you're saying. You got to protect it.
They jack us.
Sometimes.
Like, a lot of people like to pretend like they don't jack us. But I've watched people that I know, been on this show, but they have major platforms.
You're just like...
And they go from, like, doing regular fucking interviews to, like, trying to pretend like they dive deep into their guest's past. That is a fucking cooking up thing. There's not too many... Like, besides me, there's Nardwar and, like, fucking, you know, Langston to tell you. Like, there's not too many people that do that deep dive, and I watch people do it. And they, you know, they even changed their setting because they felt like the studio setting was no longer enough.
Right.
But it didn't happen until we came back. So it was like, I gotta watch what I do around y'all because you're some fucking jackers. And, you know, like, shout out to you, but, you know, cooking up is what it is. So, protect it. You know what I mean? Protect the baby at all costs. But, you know, I don't give a fuck because I always say, like, you know, like you said, what's for you is what's for you. And you can't, no matter what, I can write this shit down on a piece of paper, you wouldn't be able to implicate it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll give you the recipe. Your ingredients will not be my ingredients.
Exactly.
Even if they are, it's just not going to be the same.
It's not going to hit the same at all. The people not going to fuck with the same. So I ain't worried about it. But yeah, we got some plans. We trying to take the podcast a couple places in a couple different ways. We plan to talk to some businesses, just really get in there, you know, and keep building with other podcasts.
Yeah.
Overall, the goal is just to create unity and give people that normally don't have a voice, that are doing some good shit, dope shit out here, a voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's so hard sometimes for people to get an opportunity to speak their piece because everybody's either chasing fame or money. So if you don't have fame or you don't have fucking money, they don't want to talk to you.
Right.
But it's like, fuck that. If you dope and you working, that's where you come.
Right.
We're going to talk, we're going to eat, we're going to vibe. And that's it. That's all. Just spreading dope shit all around the world.
Yeah. Just creating till it comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it'll come. You know, I ain't worried about it. It's already here.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right,
it's here
right,
already. You know what I'm saying? We just meeting halfway.
Yes. You're like, I'm creating space for you to come on with it.
Come on in. That's all. Yeah, bro. I think we got some dope shit working. So you think about getting like another podcast or?
I'm always down to co-host any other podcast, but I could not host any other podcast. It's way too much work to host. Co-host, I show up or don't show up, Amber. Whenever I want. As a co-host, you can just be here or not be here.
Yeah.
And all you have to do, just tell jokes, and you don't have to do any research. Like, that's all you gotta do.
And be cute.
And be pink. I'm not gonna say cute. I'll just say pink.
It's so funny. It's like Justin is like the white version of me. Like the bald head, the beard, like the co-host with the pink hair. Like mine's will probably have pink or green hair. Like
different colors whenever she feels like it.
Yeah, like that's really it. That's crazy. It must be like some secret like podcast template just swimming around out there. Like
just find a bald guy with a beard. They'll do all the work. You show up.
Get a cute co-host with a lot of followers. You'll be all right. That's hilarious, bro. That's so crazy. But no, man, this is dope. I really hope you guys like enjoy the food and shit.
It was awesome. I'm gonna fart when I get in my car or when I get in that bathroom. I'm gonna fart so loud. I farted earlier when I got in that bathroom. Somebody definitely.
I think somebody shit it one time.
Shit it?
And I don't think they told they didn't say who shit it, so we didn't know who shit it, but it smelled.
If I were to shit my pants here, like if I were to fart and I shart it, would you want it to be on camera? Like, would you be happy about it, or would you be mad because I farted on your
Ain't
stool?
no fucking
You
way.
gonna clean that stool. You can,
Okay, so
you can shit in that stool all you want. If we might go viral, you still gonna clean that stool. You shit all you want.
I got
in
a
that
fart. I'm
chair.
nervous about it, so I'm gonna wait.
It's his chair after that.
I fart my.
You can actually take
Dude,
the
you
chair.
can take that motherfucker with you.
Got another rules. Got
Pack
another
that
rules.
motherfucker up to go.
Well,
Get this man a case for his chair.
I left us some stool on that stool over there.
Yeah, nah, I ain't worried about it at all. You can take that whole thing with you, but yeah, somebody definitely shit it and didn't say they shit it. I tell people all the time, don't shit in that bathroom. You can shit upstairs. And somebody shit it right there.
dude, I feel like every house has like a poop bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, not that one.
Yeah, that's too like around
Don't be rude.
everybody. Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
Everyone smells it.
Excuse
It's just-
yourself.
I'm talking, it was lingering though. That shit was, they probably thought it was gonna be like a
quickie.
cool joint. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't gonna stink.
Well, also, if you're doing that, like, you gotta hit it and split it. Like,
They hit it and split it because
No,
I didn't
I'm
catch them in the bathroom.
I'm saying.
It was gone.
What's going on here?
I'm saying if you put it out, you have to just immediately flush.
Yeah.
Like, what do we?
You gotta keep the pipe
Even
open.
if,
Just keep
yeah,
that
like
bitch
if you,
flushing that
have,
motherfucker.
if you have a couple, like if you have intermittent periods in between, like that's fine. But like, just hit it and then you just flush again, and then just
And then the
flush
butt,
again.
but then the water hits your butt, and then you got like poop water
Don't
in
be a
your butt.
bitch.
Oh, finally she
take the-
accepts the
take
saying. You
the
know how long
splash.
it's taken poop water to get her to finally admit that's a good
Take the
saying.
little splash. You want
Yes, come on now.
If you flush too many times, you give yourself away.
A what?
So you give
Oh,
yourself
away.
away. Like, you know,
well,
they're gonna know you're
lingering
shitting.
shit
Just
is gonna
cough.
give yourself
And
away
that's the thing.
anyway.
But they didn't. The motherfucker shit it and they had to get away from the bathroom or something. Cause I'm like, yo, where the fuck? I smell shit. And I don't see nobody around. Like, who shit it? Nobody was claiming it. I'm like, yo, who shit it?
You think it was somebody here? Because
nobody saying nothing.
somebody's walking away. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's walking away right now.
Could be. He might be guilty. You gotta put like shit cameras around, like just in
Right.
case somebody shit and we can rewind the footage.
You're like, I know.
Get a
what you
flush
did.
counter right next to the door.
violation.
You get the ring camera.
Yeah, yeah.
For the bathroom.
Right for the bathroom,
Like
like,
at
in
the
case you shit.
timestamps, you're
Always
like,
do that to all your
no.
bathrooms.
Oh, this shit has been hilarious, man. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to you guys coming around. You know, I'm around. I'm always
around, too.
down to go around. Come back down and I said down to go around.
By the way,
Not
he's
down
going to be a guest on our podcast as well. So I don't know when this will be released, but possibly same week, release week. I don't know. We'll work on that.
No, for sure. We'll coordinate. You know what I mean? Make it make sense. We could shut the internet down.
Did
real
you just
quick.
hear that? That was a loud fart.
That was a fart?
Yeah,
you
you
let one out? Cause my belt been hitting the chair all day, so I was like, damn, I hope nobody think I was
I'm
farting.
stressed.
There's
I
been a
gotta
lot of
go.
I did that mostly for Mar. It makes me feel better.
You literally
makes
just
you feel
wrung it
better.
at me. Like he literally said the tilt.
Well,
Right now,
I
you-
made sure the room was cool with farts. I brought up farts multiple times to make sure I could do it. And then you got the blast, and I feel
No
better.
smell though. No
Yeah,
smell.
you're welcome.
No smell.
You know what's on my butthole right now to make sure it doesn't smell? Brought to you by... I was going to make it... Brought to you by butt plugs, huh?
But
What?
Put a car freshener on.
that fuck runner, you probably hurt yourself trying to fart with a butt
I
plug
have
in
no
there.
words right now.
That's a bad
I'm
joint.
tapped.
Listen, this has been a great episode.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for having
appreciate
us. I'm
y'all.
sorry, Mars.
2 minutes too long, apparently.
I'm sorry, Mars.
We got Justin.
Shitting himself.
We got Mara.
Remember the episode shitting himself.
Shitting yourself. Justin shitted his pants. ... It's your boy Smooth. It's Cooking at 2 and 5. Let's go.